Well, civil rights groups are calling on the city of Bakersfield to rescind what they call unlawful restrictions on public participation.
It comes after the city put rules in place following a rowdy meeting over the summer. 23 ABC's Taylor Levesque is joining us now live with more on how these groups claim these restrictions violate First Amendment rights. Good morning, Taylor.
The letter sent to the city by civil rights groups ordered the city to take action by October 1st. But the city says the rules are still in place and they haven't had any problems.
You have the opportunity to make a decision that actually benefits those who do not look like you and who do not come from the privileged backgrounds that you come from and who do not have the same privileges that you have. So when we ask you to redirect funding, when we ask you to defund the police, what we're really saying is dare to see a world where Black and brown people are treated fairly and equitably. That is it.
This June 16th Bakersfield City Council meeting shows audience members yelling in disagreement about the budget and how funding is allocated. And while some spoke their frustrations calmly,
see what your community wants, what the people actually want, not what your people want, the actual people.
Others cursed at the council during public comment.
How dare you?
Mayor Karen Go called on the audience to calm down, but after repeated attempts,
it's over. There's no more public speaking.
No. This is your third warning, and we need to clear the chambers at this point.
The council later established rules for conduct inside the chambers starting on July 14th.
Engaging in conduct that disrupts the meeting or that incites disruption, including outbursts or interruptions from the audience using amplified sound or shouting or resorting to threatening or profane comments that incite disruption will not be tolerated. Continued disruption or harassment by any individual may be enforced as a misdemeanor in violation of Penal Code Sections 403, 415, 217.1 or any other applicable law.
But Emma De La Rosa with Leadership Council says she believes the rules violate someone's First Amendment rights.
You know, as elected officials, their responsibility is to hear input from the people, regardless of whether or not they like it. And they really cannot sidestep this obligation just because they don't want to hear it.
Under the Brown Act, the council is able to place reasonable restrictions and limit the total amount of time allowed for public comment on particular items for each speaker. However, the agency cannot, quote, prohibit public criticism of the policies, procedures, programs, or services of the agency or of the acts or omissions of the legislative body. However, other advocates like Monica Price with the First Amendment Coalition says rules like this in a public space are not common. She also says she believes it threatens the public's right to address the city council.
I haven't seen rules that tell people not to be repetitive, rules that say you can't, but rules that say the speaker will be responsible if someone else disrupts the meeting as a result of what they said. Like, how can you know if what you're saying is going to cause someone else in the audience to cheer? You can't even, maybe someone's having a hard time and they're getting nervous or emotional, and someone in the audience can't cheer them on, or that's something that can get you kicked out of a meeting.
The city did not respond to the letter and the rules remain in place. De La Rosa says advocates will continue to attend meetings and make their voices heard.
We are willing to collaborate and work with the city to, ensure that this does not limit folks from giving comment or, does not violate their freedom of expression and speech. So we're hoping that, there's still some opportunity there to rescind this this resolution.
23 ABC reached out to the council for a comment but did not receive a response. However, the city says they have not noticed any changes in attendance or have had any issues with decorum during the meeting since the rules were implemented. Live in Bakersfield, Taylor Levesque, 23 ABC, connecting you.